This is the IELTS listening test. You will hear a number of different recordings, and you will have to answer questions on what you hear. There will be time for you to read the instructions and questions, and you will have a chance to check your work. All the recordings will be played once only. The test is in 4 parts. At the end of the test, you will be given 10 minutes to transfer your answers to the answer sheet. Now turn to Part 1. Part 1.
You will hear a conversation between a counsellor and a student about job application. First, you have some time to look at questions 1 to 4. Listen carefully and answer questions 1 to 4.
Good afternoon, sir. May I come in?
Yes, come in please.
Is this the Career Centre of the University of Sydney?
Certainly it is. What can I do for you?
Well, I'd like to inquire some information about student part-time job.
Fine. Take a seat and let's fill in this application form first, okay?
Okay.
What's your full name?
My name is Sarah Keeney.
Could you spell your last name?
It is Keeny.
Right, Sarah. What's your age?
I am 22 years old.
Okay, 22. Where are you from?
I am an overseas student from London.
Okay. The first part of form is educational background.
I graduated from the University of Birmingham and awarded bachelor degree in economics.
Okay, economics.
And now I am a postgraduate of the University of Sydney.
What's your major?
My major is business administration.
Good choice.
Yes.
The next item is awards. Have you ever been awarded some honours?
I have won a scholarship of the University of Birmingham in 2006.
Anything else?
And I was awarded the honour of outstanding student.
How about some honour in sports? Do you attend some sport club?
Yes, I joined in a tennis club and was awarded the title of the MVP of tennis competition in 2007.
Good. What other skills do you master?
I've got a driving licence.
No, I mean that kind of skill, such as computer or something like that.
Oh, I'm good at PowerPoint.
Fine.
And I can speak some Japanese and Spanish.
Really? That's very good.
Yeah.
Now look at questions 5 to 10. Now listen carefully and answer questions 5 to 10. Fine. The next item is working experience.
I was the chairman of the student union when I was a senior student.
Good. Do you have any experience as volunteer?
Yes, I have been a volunteer to service for leukemia children.
Great, Sarah. Do you have some working experience relating to your major?
How about part-time job?
Yes.
I had worked as an office assistant in the library of Birmingham University.
When? And how long did you take the part-time job?
About 1.5 years, when I was a junior student.
Fine. The last item is job requirements.
Well, I do not care about the position and working hours, but I hope to get a good pay.
What's your minimum pay range?
I think at least from $10 to $15 per hour.
Okay, I got it. Anything else?
It's better for me to have a job with more opportunities to have training sessions.
Okay, anything else?
No, that's all.
Right, let me check. Oh, there is a vacant position in our International Language Centre.
What's the position?
A receptionist and an office assistant. Are you interested in them?
Yes. Can you help me book a job interview now?
Of course. How about 11 o'clock on next Monday?
Fine, thank you. Oh, could you give me some suggestions for my interview?
Usually there are some job interview tips,
What kind of tips?
such as do not be nervous and have confidence.
Yes?
And I think it's better to think about the questions that may be asked before interview.
Yes, that's very important.
And wear clean and formal clothes, such as shirt, not miniskirt.
Right.
And be careful about the interview time.
Yes, I will be on time.
And how about get there 10 minutes earlier?
Yes. Thank you very much for your help and suggestions.
You're welcome. Good luck.
That is the end of part 1. You now have 1 minute to check your answers to part 1. Part 2.
You will hear a conversation about transportation and map. First, you have some time to look at questions 11 to 16. Now listen carefully and answer questions 11 to 16. Hey sweetie, what are you doing?
Hi, Daddy. I'm looking for a map.
Why do you need it?
I will go to attend a party on Friday evening in a rural house, and then we will have a trip to the hill peak next morning.
Which one is important?
Of course the trip, but I also look forward to the party. Why do you ask the question?
I just want to remind you of taking some gifts.
Oh yes, I will attend a goodbye party.
A goodbye party?
Yes, for Joy. You know she will emigrate to Germany next week.
Ah, so what gift do you give her?
How about an ice cream cake?
I don't think it will be a good choice.
What's your suggestion?
I remember you both like teddy bear, right?
Sure, a good idea. Daddy, do you know where is Hill Peak? How can I get there?
How about take the tube?
No, Joy tells me tube cannot help me reach there.
Tram? I know there is a station.
Yes, but I will have to waste 3 hours on it.
Sure, a little too long.
Daddy, what do you think about a cab?
Yes, sweetie, that's a perfect transport if you're preparing for hundreds of pounds.
No. Can you help me?
Listen to me. Why don't you drive your new car?
Oh, Daddy, I am a new driver and I don't know the route map.
Come on, darling. Have a confidence, okay? Let's check the map now. Now look at questions 17 to 20. Now listen carefully and answer questions 17 to 20.
Daddy, did you find the destination on the map?
Yes, you see, we're here.
Sure.
Go to east and you will see a supermarket on your left.
Supermarket?
Yes, on the King Street.
Okay.
And then go down this street and turn right on the second intersection.
Turn right?
Yes, there is a white tall building called Art Tower on your left.
Sure. I am on Queen Lane now, is that right?
Yes. And then drive to east about, let me check, about 10 minutes. You will see a big shopping mall named Wonderful. Still on your right, and then turn left on the crossroad.
Turn left and go down this street.
Yes, you will see a river.
Cross the river?
No,
No?
not cross the river now. You should drive to east-north, pass a theatre, and then drive about 20 minutes. You will see a cathedral nearby a bridge.
Cross the river?
Yes, after cross the river, a woodside park is facing to you.
Fine. And is it near to my destination?
Right. Just pass the park and drive 10 minutes to east and you will arrive.
Fine. Thanks a lot, Daddy.
You're welcome.
That is the end of part 2. You now have 30 seconds to check your answers to part 2. Part 3.
You will hear a conversation about a student applying for a university library card. First, you have some time to look at questions 21 to 24. Now listen carefully and answer questions 21 to 24.
Good morning. Welcome to the library. How can I help you?
Good morning. I want to apply for a library card. Should I apply here?
Right. Are you a new student or did you lose your card?
I am a new student.
Okay. Could you tell me some of your personal details first?
Sure.
What's your full name?
My name is Harry Pert.
Could you spell your last name?
P-E-A-R-T.
Okay, Harry. Where are you from?
America.
And what's your faculty?
I am studying in psychology.
Fine. Do you take some documents we need?
I take my union card.
Okay. And your photo?
Passport photo?
Yes.
How many do you need?
Just one.
How much should I pay for the card?
Usually we have two cards. One is a public card with £145 and £0 for our registered students.
Do you mean it is free?
Of course.
That's so great.
But if you want to borrow some CDs or DVDs from our library, you have to pay a little money.
How much?
As usual, it is about from £2 to £7, depending on the item you borrow.
Okay. So how many books can I borrow?
We allow up to 18 items to student card, but only 8 to public card.
Does that include reference books, newspapers, journals and articles?
Of course.
Great. Now look at questions 25 to 30. Now listen carefully and answer questions 25 to 30.
You should check index card when you borrow books.
What kind of cards?
There are 3 types of cards for you to locate the book you need.
Such as title card?
Yes, author card and topic card.
Okay. May I check the information from the internet?
Of course you can. Have you registered your personal laptop?
No, I haven't.
If you register it, you will have a username and a password.
Fine.
And then you can visit the library website and search books on the internet at your home.
How long can I keep a book?
Usually, there are 3 different loans. Reference books with white label mean 4 weeks. 1 week for books with yellow colour, and some important books called closed reserve are often labelled with red colour.
Does that mean I have to read in library?
Definitely. Besides, closed reserve some current issues and journals can only be read in the library.
Okay. Are there some photocopy facilities in library?
Sure. All the machines are on the 2nd floor. You can use your library card to start the machines and then use them. Remember, our machines don't take coins.
Can I renew books by internet?
Maybe, or maybe not. If your book is overdue, I mean recalled book, you have to come back to the reception on the ground floor to return the book within 7 working days, and then pay a fine.
Okay. How much about the fine?
The minimum fine is £2.
Okay.
Anything else?
Nothing.
That's great. It is your library card.
Thank you very much. Goodbye.
Goodbye.
That is the end of part 3. You now have 30 seconds to check your answers to part 3. Part 4.
You will hear a lecture about British educational system. First, you have some time to look at questions 31 to 40. Now listen carefully and answer questions 31 to 40.
Many people think that school is just about teaching children what are often called the 3 R's: reading, writing, and arithmetic. In other words, the purpose of school is to provide children with literacy and the other basic skills they will need to become active members of society. However, the purpose of the British educational system is to also socialise children. Children are taught practical skills, but in school they also learn the rules and values they need to become good citizens, to participate in the community and social life, and to contribute to the economic prosperity of an advanced industrial economy. Great Britain is a society in which social class is still very important. In Britain, the accent you speak with, the clothes you wear, and the colleges you attend are all markers that identify your social class. The college tie is an important marker of social class. Even on informal occasions, you will sometimes see men wearing their school ties as belts to hold up their trousers, proudly displaying their attendance at a certain school. The 2 oldest universities in Britain are Oxford and Cambridge. These 2 rival universities have been nicknamed Oxbridge, which is still the single best way to guarantee a successful career. According to records, 46% of Conservative Party members of Parliament were graduates of Oxbridge, as were 3/4 of the government executive. Most senior civil servants are also Oxbridge graduates. When people in Britain talk about the Old Boys Network, they mean this elite group of men who went to school and university together. The British education system is run by the state, which provides funding, oversees standards, and tries to make sure that all British children receive a quality education. One of the largest, most important government departments is the Ministry of Education. In 1944, the Education Act made entry to secondary schools and universities meritocratic. All children were given the right to a free secondary education, not because they were of a certain social class or because their parents possessed a certain amount of money. In the 1960s, comprehensive schools were introduced all over the country, which ended the division between grammar schools, where the most academically capable students were sent to be prepared for university, and vocational schools, where less successful students were sent to learn the trade. Entrance exams were abolished, and schools were no longer allowed to let students compete for places. In 1976, British education was the focus of a new controversy when the Labour Party started the Great Education Debate about national standards and styles of teaching. However, the government thought that job training was also very important. It felt that schools were not paying enough attention to teaching students the traditional 3 R's. Therefore, in 1989, the Ministry of Education introduced a national curriculum. Nowadays, all children throughout the country must study English, mathematics, science, religious education, history, geography, technology, music, art, physical education, and a modern foreign language, etc. Now in Britain, children are legally obliged to attend school from the age of 5 or 4 in Northern Ireland to 16. Parents can choose between sending their children to state schools or to private schools. State schools are funded by local and central government. About 93% of pupils receive free education from the public sector. In the private sector, there are independent schools, which are commonly, but confusingly, called public schools. Independent schools receive their funding through the private sector and through tuition rates, with some government assistance. Up to the age of 5, children may have some pre-primary schooling in nursery schools, daycare, or playgroups. Between the ages of 5 to 11, pupils mainly attend sector state primary schools. From the age of 11 up to around the age of 18, students attend secondary schools. About 90% of secondary schools are comprehensive schools, which admit children without reference to their academic abilities. After 5 years of secondary education, English, Northern Irish, and Welsh students sit their GCSE exam, or General Certificate of Secondary Education. Based on these results, pupils can decide whether to quit school or to prepare to sit exams for university entrance. The General Certificate of Education, Advanced, is usually called the A-Levels exam. This is for students who want to pursue further education at university. Pupils have to try to get 3 or 4 A-levels in the subjects they are most proficient at. Other pupils who decide not to go to university may choose to take vocational training, which provide a broadly based preparation for future work. The Open University in Britain offers a non-traditional route for people to take university-level courses and receive a university degree. There is no formal entry requirement, such as qualifications when students register. Students follow university courses through textbooks, TV and radio broadcasts, video, and even the internet. First degree courses are mainly full-time and last 3 years, except in Scotland where they take 4 years. Degree titles vary, but usually one award is a Bachelor of Arts, or BA, or a Bachelor of Science, a BSc. For a second degree Master of Arts, MA, or Science, MSc, and Doctor of Philosophy, PhD. While in Cambridge and Oxford, the BA converts to an MA several years later upon paying a fee.
That is the end of Part 4. You now have 1 minute to check your answers to Part 4. That is the end of the listening test. In the IELTS test, you would now have 10 minutes to transfer your answers to the answer sheet.